Tim, you've got George down here to do a takeover tonight. I know you were up in Brisbane at Before and After recently. Talk me through the highlights of that event and the distinctive styles from this venue that you brought there.
The two big ones was the chance to showcase our two distinct styles of cocktail making. One was our Neo cocktail format, which is our signature style, which only exists here in Melbourne. Kind of like a hybrid between a cocktail and a wine. It's like a cocktail distilled into a wine format. So that one that we showcased that evening was the NAS, which was like this like nashy pear, smoky whiskey, like delicious, like smooth, like decadent, but like nice and soft and bright. And then we also highlighted its contemporary counterpart. It's like a highball, which was, we had a little bit of Lafroig in there, some Oloroso sherry, and then we floated that with a nashy pear and parmesan cream.
Tim, you run these Monday takeovers or pop-up events quite regularly. You have for the last couple of months. Talk me through a couple of the ones that you've had in the past and that have been successful.
Long, who is a lovely man from Finland. That one's like really super successful. Everyone was like, who's this guy from Finland? What's he coming up with? You know, these crazy drinks. And they were delicious and they worked super well. We also recently had Yao from the Elysian Whiskey Bar. Yao's been in the industry for a while, and that was a nice one to showcase, like, get Yao away from his normal bar and like what can he do. So we did like kind of contemporary tiki. For us, that shows the variety that we like to pick. If someone just wants to showcase and have a day, a bit of fun of it, then that's what we want to do.
George, what inspired the decision to organise a bar takeover with Par?
I think it's important nowadays to network, and the best way to network is to try and link up in different cities, for me anyway. For niche concepts like Par and like Before and After, it's really really important to kind of spread the word. I met Tony at the Bar Awards in Sydney this year. It's just something that we kind of felt was right to do. I've done one with Andy Chu at 102 this year in Melbourne as well. It just felt like a really good opportunity to bring the two bars together, two quite niche concepts doing some unique stuff.
How does running these sorts of events contribute to building a sense of community within the local bar scene?
I think it obviously puts the name out there, and when people visit other cities, if people from Melbourne come to Brisbane, then they've got an idea of where they want to go. They've heard about bars in Brisbane. They've been told about good new bars that have come up, and it definitely helps for people to spread the word in that way. So whilst obviously we're based in Brisbane and the majority of the people that come to the bar live in Brisbane, it's also great to see people come interstate, whether they're visiting friends or family or on work, to come into the bar and say, hey, we heard about you in Melbourne, we've been to 102 or we've been to Par in Melbourne and they talked about this bar. So that's been huge. Like, I've seen a lot of people do that, come in and say we've been recommended by someone in Melbourne. So it proves that it works, and it's definitely really important to spread the word kind of nationally, interstate, etc. And that's how bars get recognition at the end of the day.
George, talk me through what's required to create a menu for a pop-up event like this, and then what you're excited to present tonight.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into it, first of all. For these kind of things, it's about finding a balance between showing off what you do, but also doing something that makes sense within these four walls as well. I've always found that with takeovers, there's no point doing something that is just so completely away from what the other bar's doing, because the whole point of a takeover is that the two concepts have some similarities. So when designing the menu, it's about kind of finding that balance. Obviously, we're doing drinks that are on our menu, but picking the right ones for the event is crucial. Tonight, I'm really looking forward to showing off a couple of drinks, especially the Banana Rama, which is used as our house fernet and incorporates a fermentation as well, which is closely related to what these guys do. So that's what I mean when I say to do something that's unique, but also ties in with the venue that you're within. Fermented banana, house fernet, coconut foam is something that I'm really excited to show off. And also our Hay Fever, which came in number 35 in the top 50 drinks of the year with Boothby. So really excited to show that off as well.
So after these sorts of pop-up or collaborative events, what do you do with those same drinks later? And I don't mean the ingredients themselves, but do you use it to pilot a new drink for your venue? Or tell me about this.
Two of the ones we're using tonight are permanent on the menu, but the third one isn't. It's a kind of iteration of a previous drink we did that might actually come onto the menu. So it is a bit of a trial and error in a way as well. So it's good to put that out there to people and get the feedback from that as well. Really useful to have a drink that you're kind of, I'm very happy with, but to get some feedback and say, hey, actually this can go on the menu.
Organising a takeover or pop-up event like this requires a lot of organisation. Talk me through some of the logistical challenges that you've faced in the process, and then what you might do differently next time.
The majority of the challenges come from the prep side of things. Coming here and coming to the bar isn't much of an issue. It's just making sure that the prep's on point, because you're asking someone else to recreate your drink to a T. And especially when there's fermentation involved, there's a lot of variables. But that comes down to picking the right venue to collaborate with and trusting the guys to do it, because you've only really got one chance. I turn up here and something's gone wrong, then there's nothing much you can do about that. The rest of it's pretty straightforward and enjoyable. So once you've got the prep and the drinks sorted, you're sweet.
George, you're quite involved in the industry. You've done other collaborations before. I'd love to know what future collaborations you have planned.
Nothing specific at the moment. There's a few things in the pipeline which I probably can't talk about yet, but moving into 2024, definitely something we'll keep rolling with. There is something very exciting lined up, whether it's venue-on-venue takeovers or new products like our Fernet that we released with Full Circle Spirits recently. Stuff like that's really, really important to me, and to get the name of the bar out there and to network, as I said earlier. And then further down the line, if there's the opportunity to do some international takeovers as well, that'd be amazing. But for now, just keep doing this kind of stuff and spreading the word. We've done Melbourne a bit now, so maybe we look at Sydney and some other cities, Adelaide maybe, and just keep spreading the word. That's all we can do.